Today I want to talk about game four. I'm sorry I missed game two and game three. I've been busy, but let's get into game four. Um, the Lakers narrowly defeated the Spurs. The big debate of the game was whether or not uh, Derek Fisher fouled Brent Barry. I think technically it was a foul, but I'm really not that upset with the non-call. Um, I think if Brent Barry had, gone ahead and performed the shot the sh- shot the shot when as Fisher was jumping and jumped into him as well, then the refs would have had to call the foul. But because he pulled it back and got another opportunity, I think that's what did Brent Barry in, and the officials just let it go. And I'm more in favor of the Spurs. I mean, the officials letting stuff go than I am them calling fouls. It was an ugly way to end the game, but um, that's just the way it ended. And um, there's I mean, it's a crucial play, but for the Spurs, it it was indicative of bad play all night long and really not playing a complete basketball game and trying to get by um, on here and there shots and breaks and stuff like that. Um, I again I just did think it was a foul, but I thought Brent Barry needed to shoot the ball when he was getting fouled because by not doing that he gave himself another chance at the basket, and the referees, you know, on that situation, there's a good chance they'll let it go, let the contact go, and then go ahead and only call the foul on the last shot if it's significantly affected by the foul. So I think that's what happened, and the Spurs, I think the Spurs got tired in this game. That's the way it looked to me. I think Tony, Tim, and Manu were just worn down, and I don't really see it as anybody's fault. It's just the way it happened. The Spurs have had a long Hornet series, and they don't have much of a bench. And I think this goes back into the off season with um, the Spurs management trying to get by on less. And it would have really helped them if they would have brought in a wingman that can drive the ball and shoot at the same time. Um, Brent Barry played really well tonight, but the Spurs need more than a bunch of players that do one thing well. Brent Barry played a great all around game, but typically he's more just a spot up shooter. And what we have is now Finley. When he's not making a higher clip than, I don't know what he shot, but he doesn't shoot a high percentage. And when he doesn't shoot over 45%, what is he really giving you? In the first half, I saw a play where he just flat out did not hustle to the ball and got beaten to it by a Laker. And that's just the type of play that is unacceptable for a guy that's not doing. I mean, it's really unacceptable in my book if you're not going to play hard at all. But for a guy that's not contributing elsewhere, he really needs to go get that ball or at least make an effort to. And so, you know, he's easy to like when he's making shots, but a lot of the time he's not. And so I think in the plus minus system and the cost benefit analysis, you gotta take into fact that Finley's not contributing that much. So he was not the guy to have to be relying on as that sixth man, or I know he's starting, but he's more like a sixth man to the Spurs, and he was not the guy to be relying on for those extra in between minutes. Um, Tony, Tim, and Manu, and I don't think this has anything to do with their age. I just think it has to do with being beaten up and playing a lot of minutes, and the Spurs have to play them a lot of minutes because playing them is better than playing, people that don't know what they're doing, or can't be capable of filling the role. Jock Vaughn, a tremendous hustle player, a good NBA journeyman. He stuck around a long time with playing hard and just doing the fundamental basics. But he cannot play in a game four in the Western Conference semis, and that's just the facts. And and he didn't play tonight, and rightfully so, because he wasn't going to do as much as a tired Tony Parker. Um, it's just that's the way it comes down to. The playoffs are rough, and it's a tough road, and you have to overcome. Um, on the Lakers side, I thought they had a huge collapse and gave the Spurs every opportunity to get back in this game, and I think if you're a Lakers fan, you have to be really disappointed in your team. I don't think you have to be really worried because the Spurs are probably going to be the toughest challenge. I don't think the Celtics or Pistons will match what the Spurs were going to give you. So there's probably not too much worry room there since it looks like the Lakers are going to become the eventual champions. But it definitely was disappointing for the Lakers to end the game the way they did and miss so many shots and give the Spurs so many opportunities. But that said, it's a battle, and if you come out on top, you're doing pretty good in these situations, and the Lakers did. And um, Kobe had played pretty well up until the collapse, and Lamar Odom did really good. They just kept coming up with the rebounds, and the Spurs really. I mean, Lakers are just. I mean, what it comes down to is Lakers are a hard team to stop. If you double Kobe, they have those big bodies in Odom and Gasol, and you have to go get the rebound, and it's tough because Gasol's 7'2", Odom's strong, Odom's tall, and the Spurs are Duncan's trying to man everybody, and and Robert Ory for it. As many big shots as he's hit, he's not hitting them at all now, and he. I mean, I'm not faulting Robert Ory, but he just, I mean, the shots weren't there, and that's what you have to look at. You have to look at the bottom line in the playoffs. You don't look at the in betweens or the excuses or whatever. You have to look at what's really happening and what's being produced. And what the Spurs produced is Tim Duncan had a good game. I thought in the fourth quarter he played weak, but I think that was because he was tired. So I'm not going to blame Tim Duncan, you know, when he's putting up shots when he's got nothing left. I mean, if you play basketball when you have nothing left, your shots aren't going to be very good, no matter who you are. If you're tired, and you're not gonna have the lift. Your shots are gonna hit the front of the rim like the Spurs did, and that's all there is to it. And I think even Manu's even slightly injured on being top of being tired. So it's all that coming together. And for me, back to Robert Ory, Ory's not hitting shots. He's not producing. The only one that produced was Brent Barry, and I'm glad to see that he got a large portion of minutes. I think he deserved them. I think he's been playing great sneaky defense. He's be coming up with a couple of turnovers a game for the Spurs. Tony played hard. I think Derek Fisher's defense on Tony Parker has been tremendous. Derek Fisher is physically intimidating Tony Parker, I think, and he's keeping him out of lane. And all of the Lakers are getting back, and they're making it really tough on Tony Parker to get those easy baskets that the Spurs use to pad their score. And so the Lakers done a great job on that. And I think more than anything, this game just comes down to, Lakers were the better team. And um, the Spurs never could get over the hump. And they made a great push at the end. And they just came up short. And a lot of people are going to say conspiracy theory, but, you know, they're I can go with the conspiracy theory as much as the next guy, but not this game. Uh, it didn't look that way to me. It looked like the Spurs played poorly and they lost because of it. This is SpursVideo.com.